Hello, my name is Brad, and I teach art on the internet. Bet you thought I was gonna say I review tech for creative professionals. I do that too. It's a new year, and I haven't done a good old-fashioned channel update video in ages, and I officially have 2 channels now. I've changed this channel's name again, and I guess, in general, I have some splaining to do. The new second channel is for tutorials and teaching art. The first videos I'll be posting there are an animated series about the internet's worst art teacher, played by yours truly. And each video is a different art lesson. It's a mashup between like a Saturday morning cartoon and an art tutorial. It's an experiment. With my tutorials over the years, I've tried to make learning less stodgy and more fun, and that's really the goal here. And clearly, I'm having way too much fun with this. I will link that up here and also in the description down below. So if you want to watch a goofy cartoon about art, go ahead, click those now. I will not be offended at all. If you want to hear me talk about myself for the next 5 minutes, you are in the right place. Also, I should point out, these are animated videos. They take a long time to produce. I have 2 3/4 ready to roll. Those are going to be rolling out over the next 2 weeks or so. After that, I hope to get out about 1 video a month. That's my goal. I might do more. I might do less depending on how things go. Anyway, I'm going to talk about that in this video. But before we get too far in, I want to talk about part 1, the whole cowboy thing. Okay, so why did I change my name to Cowboy, and why have I changed it back to Brad Colbo? Okay, this all kind of rolls in with the second channel thing. This whole idea started last summer when I wanted to rebrand things around here, and I started thinking I do want to split up my channels into 2 things. One for like tech review stuff for artists and illustrators, and another channel just for the tutorials and that sort of thing. And as part of that, I wanted my brand to be more memorable. My last name is Colbo, like a piece of coal and a bow. And when you see it just spelled out there, it's not really apparent that that's how it's pronounced. A bunch of people down in the comments are always calling me Cowboy anyway. I just assumed that was probably more of a spell check thing than anything else. So I just embraced it. And I figured if someone's looking for one of my reviews on the internet and they thought, oh, who's that cowboy guy who reviews tech? That's just way easier to Google than my last name. Anyway, I've given up on that moniker and gone back to the Colbo thing. So that's it. I am done. I am not changing the channel's name anymore, probably, at least not anytime in the near future. It is Colbo for the time being. I am sorry if there's any confusion. I think everybody figured it out. All right, so if I changed it to Cowboy for branding reasons, why am I changing it back? Well, 2 of my friends came up to me over the last few months since I changed it. Well, they didn't come up to me. They messaged me because I'm not seeing people face to face for reasons. And they both said to me that to them, cowboy kind of had a negative connotation, like a white guy on a horse shooting at indigenous people. Maybe that's not something that my brand should be tied to. And it was something I had not considered. And I figured if I had 2 good friends who were willing to come up to me privately and mention that to me, there were probably other people out there thinking the same thing too. So my goal is to be the internet's worst art teacher. And so anything, whether it be my name or something I'm doing on my channel, that distracts from that goal, even for just a small segment of my audience who might be thinking that, why go there? So that's the reason I decided to change it back. It had only been a few months, and I thought, might as well just go with Colbo and just stick with it. Maybe I'll say my name out loud more often in videos, and people will get used to pronouncing it and saying it. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But for now, the new channel is called Brad's Art School instead of Cowboy Art School, and this channel is now just Brad Colbo. It's my channel. I was hesitant to bring this whole thing up because I know I'm going to get those comments down there like, what, we can't talk about cowboys anymore? Political correctness has gone too far, am I right? And I think for me, that's just not how I see the world. I think changing what you're doing or your behavior because it bothers someone else isn't political, or it shouldn't be political. It's just being courteous. Empathy is a skill that I really truly value in other people in my relationships with my friends and family in real life. And so that's something that I want to emulate as well with my friends and my family. And it's also something that I want this channel to represent too. All right, so let's get on to part 2, which is why another channel? Why not just put this new content here on this channel? Why make everybody subscribe to another channel? If you've been here a long time, you've seen me make a lot of different kinds of videos, but they're usually all centered around art in some way, shape, or form. Over time, the tech reviews have gotten more views on this channel, and since this is my livelihood, I've been doing YouTube full-time for 2 years now, my response was, well, if people like that, I'm just gonna keep doing more tech videos. Every so often I would go back and think, man, this would be a really cool art tutorial, or this is something that I want to talk about in the context of art or illustration. Those videos would just not perform as well as they used to. And it kind of makes sense. That's because 80% of my content was tech. All the new people who were subscribing for tech content. So what would happen when I'd produce something that wasn't in that niche is YouTube would show it to a bunch of people. Only a small segment of them would click on it, and YouTube would say, this video isn't resonating with his audience. Let's not share it out with the rest of his audience, with the broader audience. And that's how YouTube's algorithm works. So whenever the YouTube algorithm would see those tutorial videos underperforming and not promote them, I made less of them. And this is really, really common on YouTube, and I've talked to other creators, and they've said the same thing. Over time, their channels have become more and more focused on one topic instead of just covering, a whole bunch of different topics or whatever they want to cover. Now, I want to point out, this is not a bad thing. This is just how YouTube works. And I love talking about tech. I hope the fun that I have doing this job comes through in these videos. The thing with running a tech channel on YouTube is it's all about timing. For example, Apple let me borrow the iPad Air this year for my review. So I got to post my review on the same day at the same time as like Marquez Brownlee and iJustine and The Verge. And the views I got on those videos were huge, and unlike anything else I've ever experienced while reviewing an iPad on this channel. In the past, I would just buy an iPad, it would arrive at the same time everybody else got theirs. After like the big review channels got their reviews up, I'd spend a week or two with it and I'd post my review. And those videos did well, but nothing like what I saw getting it at the same time that all the pros get theirs to review. The longer you wait to release like a tech review or something about a product after it comes out, like if I released an iPad Air review today, 3 months later, forget about it. People have moved on. There's very much a freshness date on tech videos. Now, art videos, on the other hand, are a totally different animal, and I had a spike in views on Christmas Day, and it didn't come from my tech reviews and my tech videos. All of that spike came from people who got an iPad and were like, I need to figure out how to use Procreate. And they were looking for like my 10 tips in Procreate video. Did very well on Christmas Day. Those sorts of videos performed really well over the holiday break. Just in general, those have a much longer shelf life. Because tech is all about timing, I'm rewarded for being fast, not crafting a really intricate video. But I really like crafting fun videos. I love adding little animation and jokes and taking my time to make videos that are just really cool videos that are fun to watch. Something that I really truly valued early on this channel was when my wife's friends would say something like, I don't really care about iPad styluses, but I enjoyed your video. That is like the biggest compliment I could get. But what I realized over time was that spending an extra 3-4 days or even a week on a video to like make it different and unique and add all of that different stuff, it didn't matter to my bottom line. In fact, it hurt the business that I've been building here. Those videos weren't fresh enough because they were coming in too late. The people who watched them seemed to really like them. The watch time was very high on them, but the click-through rate, it just wasn't. So the whole point of the second channel is to scratch that itch for me. This channel, my main channel, my tech channel, this isn't going to change much. It's running great. I love what I'm doing. People seem to really enjoy watching it. I'm going to keep churning and keep trying to up my production value and all that fun stuff. But I needed or wanted a place to experiment and try different things. And I like that with this new channel, there aren't a lot of people watching. So if a video bombs or fails or doesn't work, I can experiment and try different things and see what the audience responds to without any consequences. I'm not going to have to worry about a potential sponsor looking at my channel and seeing a handful of videos that just did not perform well at all because they only got like 7,000 or 8,000 views and saying, oh, maybe we don't want to sponsor a video with this guy because some of his videos do well and other one of his videos bomb. You know, that's something that when you start doing this for a living and you actually have to pay your bills on a monthly basis, you actually have to think of as a YouTuber, especially a small to medium-sized YouTuber like me. So it gives me a place where I can learn more about animation, figure out how to produce these videos in a more reasonable timeline. It's a totally different workflow than what I'm used to. And I'm learning a ton about other things like sound design. Something might might look really funny when I write it in a script, but it just doesn't always translate to audio. So that's a skill you have to learn. I finished writing episode 3 and I recorded it. And when I first started editing the script together, at least the audio script that I was going to animate to, it was not funny at all. What was funny on the page just did not work once I recorded the audio and cut it together. It was bad. But I kept going back to that script and I was like, I really like what I have in this script. So I ended up hiring a voice actor to like act out one of the characters in the script. He acts out an emotionally abusive sphere who comes to teach in the classroom. It's awesome. He did such an amazing job. And what started is like just the worst audio thing that I have ever put together just transformed into something that is so good. And I am so proud of it. And I'm so excited to post probably in the next 2 weeks or so. And I can't wait for people to watch it. It's probably way too geeky, but it's one of those things that, you know, just learning this stuff and going through this stuff and knowing that like I made this thing that I could be proud of. I love it. And it's recapturing that joy of creation. Not that I don't have it on this channel, but it's just it's a different kind of creation that comes with experimentation that's harder to do on a more established channel like this one. So anyway, this is all to say, if you're interested, go ahead, check out the new channel. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year. I think 2021, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say it's going to be better than 2020. Just saying. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you in a couple of days.